Hey guys, Mike the Intrepid Fisherman here, and today I'm going to talk to you about how you can save money on your braid. Braid is kind of an expensive line, and not everybody likes to just take it off, throw it away, and put on new braid, because that line underneath is good braid. It's been covered this whole time. It hasn't been in the sun. It really hasn't been in the water, and it usually is pretty good looking braid. I've got a piece here that I was working on. I took this braid off of a reel just because it was getting short. I have been fishing with this rod for a while, and over the time, I think it's the past year, this Power Pro's been on there for about a year. Over time, it's slowly been getting cut, break-offs. The other day, you're going to have a video coming out this week about the Matagorda fishing that we did. We caught a bunch of redfish, but while we were fishing, we got cut off a lot. We think it was black-tip sharks. When they go by and they hit this stuff, it just snaps it off. So we got cut off a couple times. And over the years, this has slowly gotten to where it's about half the spool. And casting has really been affected because it's hitting the spool as it goes out. So I had to replace it due to length, not due to age. This is Suffix spools that you see. When you get a spool of braid the first time, I love the Suffix because they come in these awesome plastic spools, and they have this cool little angular inner section there. And I have found over the years, oddly enough, that my little tiny Phillips screwdrivers go in there, fit perfectly, and are able to help me get these spools on and off, easily spooling. So what I do, stick that in there. Get my drill, I'll slide it down in there and I'll tighten it down, and then I'll spool it off of the spool that it's on the reel that it's on. Be really careful if you're doing this on spinning rods, because the only thing you can do is either take the spool completely off or loosen the drag so loose that it's just not even stopping it at all. But just don't go super fast, you'll burn your drag up. On a casting, just click the clicker so that the spool is free spooling, and just allow it to come off. Make sure you keep a thumb on it, because this will get going fast enough to cause a horrible bird's nest on the spool. So you just get it going, just spin it, and as you can see, it just goes, pulls it, it'll pull it right off. I didn't keep this one super tight. Here's the problem, you'll see. You gotta be careful. I was being a little less cautious because I was planning on throwing this braid out, but then I thought I may as well keep it for putting underneath maybe later on when I have the same problem with this spool that I just respooled. I could actually put this on top, spool it off onto a spool, and then bring it back on another spool and bring it back. And this is how I'm going to show you how you can flip over your braid to keep the good side out. Like I said, this braid has been on that reel for a year. It's finally gotten down to where casting it is getting a little bit crazy. So what we do is I would take it, put the braid on like this, and you can see the good side is on the outside right now. If I put this back on to the spool of the reel, the good side will go right back on. So what you have to do, like I said, I always keep these plastic little things. So put it onto another spool. And the way I do that is I have this little piece of wood here. You can see this old junk dirty piece of wood that I had in the garage. I'll take the screwdriver. I drilled a little hole in there the same size as the screwdriver. Put that down in there. Put this spool like this. Oh, sorry. Put the spool like this. Take this one and put it on. I have a couple of these screwdrivers. Put it on another screwdriver. Stick it like that. Just simply attach the line from one spool to the other. Spin it. It'll take it from this spool onto this spool. And what that will do, it will take all this good braid that's been covered and doesn't have any sun damage, doesn't have any abrasion damage from being, cast and stuff. It'll take that and it'll put it underneath again. So then you just simply do that, the same thing. Put the spool on here, get your fishing pole out, and spool it onto the rod like you normally would any brand new spool of line, just the same way you would normally do it. My suggestion is always for spinners, to put the label side towards it and spin it on, so that I just hold them when I do it. In fact, I just did this one. I just simply hold the spool out in front. Give me the spool. I just simply hold the spool out in front and spool it on. Just like that. Just let it come off the spool onto the rod or the reel. And that I just hold my fingers lightly but firmly so that it has tension as it's coming off. And I just simply hold it like this. Now I have another spool that I can use for doing this braid transfer. See, that's the problem if you leave it loose. I'm going to have to very carefully put it on this spool tight and move it over. But I was really just going to throw this braid out because it's so short, and then later I thought, oh wait, I can still use it. It can still be used. All right, so transfer the braid to a spool, transfer the spool onto another spool, and then transfer it back onto the reel. The same braid that you've been using if it's a good length. If you've been getting cut off and you have the problem I have, of course you got to get new braid. Then spool it off onto a spool, spool it over to another spool, and spool it back to your rod, your reel. Look at that. So that will put the line closest to the spool that you have currently out onto the outer edge of the spool and give you brand new braid that'll last you easily another year. Like I said, that stuff's been on there a year, and the stuff underneath looks brand new. So that's the tip for today. I appreciate all of you coming by. Be sure to hit that subscribe button down below. Be sure to like and comment. Let me know what you think of the videos. And I appreciate you coming by, and we'll see you next Tuesday.